The Dallas Mavericks have done it. They reached 50 wins for the first time since 2015. On a scale from 1 to 10, how impressed are you with this squad?
You have to be, because I don't think I predicted 50 wins this year. I know some people did, but they were few and far between, and they got up to a really slow start at 50 wins. This is their best regular season since 2011. They're going to surpass 50 wins. They got a couple easy home games. And 28 road wins also is their most since 2011. So
wow.
One of their best road seasons and probably their best regular season since 2011. We'll see if it carries over into the best playoff season since 2011, which they got to win one series to make that happen.
Oh, absolutely. And it's been impressive to me how the Mavericks really established the home court advantage as well as being good on the road. That was one of the biggest things head coach Jason Kidd said when he took over. All right, we need to make sure that when we're in Dallas, it's an advantage for this squad. And it's been pretty obvious that so far this season, that's been that way.
Yeah, unless there's something wonky goes on the last two games, 29-12 at home, and that's one of their best records since 2011 also. And it tells you how important it is to get the home court advantage, which it looks like they have locked up going into the first round, and it's something they haven't had in a long time also.
Yeah, for sure. Mavs legend Dirk Nowitzki recently spoke about how Kobe Bryant and Steve Nash were trying to recruit him away from the Dallas Mavericks before the 2011 season when the Mavs won the championship. Can you imagine how different life would be if he would have said yes to one of those guys? Because I'm sure it was tough to say no.
I don't think we would be here. I think I would just not have been a sports writer anymore. I just found something else. It's a testament to why Dirk is, I think, the greatest, not only basketball player, but the greatest athlete in the history of Dallas-Fort Worth.
And certainly the most loyal.
Yes, and I was going to say, what he's done on the court, off the court, it's his loyalty. You get recruited by Kobe, who could probably guarantee you a championship if you come to LA.
Yeah.
And your old buddy, one of your best friends, on and off the court, Steve Nash, saying, leave Dallas. He wouldn't do it. Dallas, the Nelsons discovered him. Donnie and Don, they went to Germany to convince him, you are good enough to play in this league, when he didn't think so. And that meant a lot. They meant the world to him. He was never going to leave Dallas. And no, if he would have left Dallas, would the Mavericks have won a championship by now? How? He was the driving force to win that title. And I think we would have just been spinning in circles saying, we'd have been doing this video day saying, I hope the Mavs win their first championship this year, which they only got one, but that one has gone a long way.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes you wonder what Mark Cuban must have said, because Dirk said, I called Mark and he said, come over, we'll talk this out. They sat in his living room. Must have been one heck of a conversation.
I give Cuban credit for getting it done, but I don't think it took a lot of convincing, because again, Dirk has always said, I was born in Germany, but Dallas is my second home. I think he was determined, like he owed Dallas something for taking a chance on him, which is the most humble thing one of the greatest players to ever play the game can ever say.
Right.
But I think Cuban just had to say, what do you think's the right amount of money? I'll write the check. And I think Dirk was determined to stay here. You turned down Kobe Bryant, you must be pretty dang loyal, and thank God Dirk is and was.
And now Dirk's on the all-decade team.
Would he have been there if he went to LA?
Probably.
Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, Dirk to be in the company of Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, James Harden, and to think back to that 2011, and LeBron James also on that team, obviously. But to think about 2011, so Dirk led a Mavericks team with no other All-Stars, and he beat two of the five guys on the all-decade team to get past the Oklahoma City Thunder and Durant and Harden. And oh, by the way, they had a guy named Russell Westbrook on that team. To know that he went through those guys. And then in the first round, he went through LeBron. No, he didn't go through LeBron. He went through Kobe and the Lakers. Just makes that, you look back on that run and like 10 years later,
like, oh my gosh, he beat
how did that happen? Like, we were there and you still don't think it happened. We're still pinching ourselves. But yeah, very deserving on the all-decade team.
Back to the current NBA, who do you think in the West is the team to beat currently?
I mean, it's a no-brainer to say Phoenix. They've had the best regular season. They've got the best closer in the game in Chris Paul. They've got Ayton inside. They got JaVale McGee actually playing well, which the Mavericks tried out for a hot minute. They've got all the pieces in place, and they've got a bench, and they've got Devin Booker who can finish games. They just don't have a weakness. They've had the best regular season. They went to the finals last year and blew a 2-0 lead. They've got that motivation, that monkey on their back to know we can get to the finals, we can take a lead in the finals, we just got to finish business. The Mavericks they're right there in the next level with the Warriors, I think, but I think there's a clear separation to Phoenix. Something wild is going to happen for Phoenix to win the West.
I got one for you.
Go.
The Memphis Grizzlies. To me, they have all of the talent as well as the chemistry that could be pretty dangerous in the playoffs. They have really nothing to lose.
That's true.
Whereas the Suns have that monkey on their back from last season. And the Grizzlies kind of feel like the Suns last season. Like, oh, wow, we're just gelling. We're not really sure how this is all happening, but we're playing really good and we're having a lot of fun.
What Memphis has just as much probably raw talent as Phoenix, but Ja Morant has never even snipped this kind of success it takes in the playoffs. Chris Paul's been doing it for 20 years.
True.
To me, that's the difference. And usually teams that have all the talent, nothing to lose, they play loose and free. The further you get in the playoffs, they start realizing, oh my gosh, we're close to getting to the finals, and that pressure kind of wears them down. I don't disagree that Memphis is a fantastic team, but Phoenix is going to the finals.
We'll see about that. So let's talk about the Dallas Mavericks in the NBA playoffs. Obviously, health is always a huge factor for every team, but for the Mavs, Maxi Kleber has not been playing at 100%. He's been out for a couple games in the last month. How important is it for Kleber to be healthy for this team?
Mavericks are not that deep of a team. They need everybody to be healthy. And Kleber is the guy who, Dwight Powell's been amazing.
Yeah.
He's overachieved.
One of his best seasons.
One of his best, probably his best season.
Yeah.
But Maxi Kleber, the way Luka penetrates and can find anybody at any time, defenses now have to take note of where Spencer Dinwiddie is, where Reggie Bullock is, because they're making threes. Even Dorian Finney-Smith now is a three-point. He's not an afterthought now. He's a weapon.
Right.
That's going to leave somebody open, and we've seen Maxi Kleber take and make big three-pointers.
Right.
He's going to be wide open, something Dwight Powell cannot do. So Kleber, and if you're going to get a big shot block on this team in crunch time, you think it's going to be Maxi Kleber to do it. So is he important? Yeah, he's vital to the whole process.
I got one for you, Richie. LeBron came out and said, you know what? I would love to play with Stephen Curry. That would be my pick of a current NBA player.
Good. Put them together. We're fine.
Steph said, nah, I'm good. So somebody else, though, posed the question, LeBron James to Dallas to play with Luka. Now, how realistic is that? And how would that work?
It would take a million steps. Now, is it impossible? No, anything's possible. When LeBron wants it, LeBron usually gets it, right? Now, he's already said...
Which is kind of why he's in the situation he's in with the Los Angeles Lakers right now.
Yeah, he wanted guys like Carmelo Anthony, come win a championship. Russell, come win a championship, and now they're not going to even make the playoffs. So LeBron's already on record saying, you have to draft my son, Bronny, for me to... So there's how serious he is about that. And it's, we don't even know if LeBron wants to play with Luka. I'm sure he would, obviously, because of the talent. But
who wouldn't want to play with Luka?
I was about to say the same thing. LeBron would add a couple years maybe to his career having Luka do all the heavy lifting. The rebounding, bringing the ball up the court, making LeBron a jump shooter.
Passes.
Yeah, who wouldn't want to play with him? Yeah. But I think the line is really long behind who wants to play with Luka. So LeBron, just stick with Stephen Curry and Bronny. I think we're good for now.